Welcome to this lesson on credential management in PowerShell. One of the most critical aspects of PowerShell security is learning how to handle passwords and credentials properly in your scripts. In this tutorial, we'll explore the Get-Credential cmdlet and discover how it helps us manage sensitive authentication information securely. Whether you're automating administrative tasks, connecting to remote systems, or working with databases, understanding credential management is essential for maintaining security in your PowerShell workflows. Before we dive into the solution, let's understand the problem. Many beginners make the mistake of storing passwords directly in their scripts as plain text strings. This example shows what you should never do: storing a username and password as regular variables and passing them to a connection command. This approach is extremely insecure because the password is visible to anyone who can read the script file. Even worse, these plain text passwords can appear in log files, command history, and memory dumps, creating serious security vulnerabilities. Anyone with access to your script or system logs could easily steal these credentials. The solution to this security problem is the Get-Credential cmdlet. This is a built-in PowerShell command specifically designed to handle credentials securely. When you run Get-Credential, it opens a dialog box that prompts you to enter a username and password. Instead of storing the password as plain text, it automatically encrypts the password using a technology called SecureString. The cmdlet then returns a special credential object that you can store in a variable and pass to other commands that require authentication. This approach ensures your password is never exposed as readable text in your script. Let's break down exactly what happens when you use Get-Credential. First, it prompts the user by displaying a dialog box where they can securely enter their username and password. Second, it immediately encrypts the password, converting it into a secure string format that cannot be read as plain text. Third, it creates a special PSCredential object that bundles the username and encrypted password together. Finally, it protects the password in memory throughout the entire execution of your script. This multi-layered approach ensures that credentials remain secure from the moment they're entered until they're used for authentication. The Get-Credential cmdlet offers several useful parameters to customize its behavior. The username parameter allows you to pre-populate the username field in the dialog box, which is helpful when you know which account will be used. The message parameter lets you display a custom prompt message to guide users on what credentials they should enter. You can also combine both parameters together to create a more user-friendly experience. For example, you might pre-fill the username as domain/admin and display a message like enter admin password. These parameters make your scripts more intuitive and reduce the chance of users entering incorrect credentials. Once you've created a credential object with Get-Credential, you might need to access its individual components. The username property gives you the username as plain text, which is safe because usernames aren't secret. The password property returns the password in its encrypted secure string format, which keeps it protected. However, in rare cases where you absolutely need the password as plain text, you can use the getNetworkCredential method followed by the password property. This should be used very carefully and only when necessary, as it defeats the security purpose of SecureString. Always think twice before converting a secure password back to plain text. Let's explore some real-world scenarios where Get-Credential proves invaluable. When establishing a remote PowerShell session to another computer, you can use Get-Credential to securely capture the credentials and pass them to Enter PS session. For SQL Server connections, you can create a credential object with a custom message like SQL login and then pass it to Invoke SQL CMD for database queries. Another common use case is service account automation, where you might need to run scheduled jobs or background tasks under a specific service account. By using Get-Credential, you ensure that all these sensitive operations handle passwords securely without exposing them in your scripts. To wrap up, let's review the essential best practices for credential management. Always use Get-Credential instead of hard-coding passwords in your scripts. Store credential objects in variables, but never write them to disk in unencrypted format. Avoid using the Get-Network-Credential method to extract plain text passwords unless you have a compelling reason and understand the security implications. Use meaningful prompt messages to guide users on which specific credentials they should enter. When you're done using credentials, clear the variables to remove them from memory. Finally, for scenarios requiring persistent credential storage, consider using the Windows Credential Manager, which provides a secure vault for storing and retrieving credentials across sessions. Following these practices will help you build secure and professional PowerShell scripts.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.